Okay, so I'd like to share with you 5 tests that we did with the AMWand and the pendant that I coordinated. There's a group here in Vancouver, a great team of BAs who has taken upon itself to test the technology that we're working with, just to get more and more comfortable with the effects and the extent of the effects of what we're working with. So this is not considered scientific, but we have been as careful as we can be because, this is for our own comfort, understanding, and knowledge. And so we have contacted different practitioners around the Vancouver area and also over in Victoria who have very sophisticated instruments that are used often in alternative health practices. And we have tested the wand. So I'm going to start with the very first one we did, which was done with an instrument called a scalar. A scalar measures scalar waves and scalar energy. It's a very sensitive instrument. It measures in megahertz. So we tested the wand, the beam coming out of the wand, and it was amazing because before I go into the actual readings, I like to explain that there's a demarcation in that system that says that anything that measures above 200 megahertz is considered healthy, strong, with enough vital energy to support life. And anything that measures below 200 megahertz is weak, it's not healthy. And amazingly, the wands themselves, 2 of them that we measure, were over 1,200 megahertz. So this is the beam coming out of the wand. And then, yes, and even more amazing than that was the effect that the wand had on water, on food, and on our own energy field. So we first measured tap water from the Vancouver area, and we were shocked to see that it came out at 2.1 megahertz. So the baseline reading was 2.1. That's just very close to dead, energetically speaking. After wanding the water for approximately 2 minutes with a couple of wands, the tap water came at 350 megahertz. So that means it absorbed the Amized Fusion technology enormously. That's well over 100 times more vital energy after only 2 minutes of application. And then we repeated the test with a grape that first came at 2.8 megahertz, and after wanding it came at 222.7. So again, close to 100 times more. A cashew nut, very similar reading, 2.3 at first, 222.3 after 2 minutes of wanding. And then our energy fields, a couple of us that were there had our energy fields measured, and they fortunately came at around 200 to just above 200 to begin with. But after 3 minutes of wanding with a couple of wands, our vital force doubled. So by then, the practitioner who was seeing this technology for the very first time was very intrigued. She had never seen anything like that. She had tested many other technologies, and they were all beneficial. She had tested, I believe, a laser wand, etc. And she had seen increases of vital force of about 10 times, but never 100 times. So we worked on her. She had some nerve damage on her arm and hand, and her first reading came at only 2.6 because her arm was really very weak. And after wanding her for 3 minutes, she came at 360. So yeah, that was our very first test that we did, and of course, we were surprised and very excited. And this was back in February, at the beginning of February. Now, since then, we've done another 4 official tests that I presided, and there are a couple other VAs have done additional ones that they are now reporting back to us. So the next one that we did was
this one videotaped, Silvana?
No, the very first one was not videotaped, but the other ones were. And so what we're doing right now is we are just editing the footage that we have, just making short videos of it, and this is all going to be posted in the One the World website.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so the next one was a live blood analysis test. And what we did is enlist a volunteer, somebody who had not been exposed to the energy. We took him into a clinic that does this sort of testing. And again, the practitioner didn't have any experience with the technology. She didn't know what it was about. So that was, in a sense, part of the test as well, because this was not somebody who was already familiar with it or Amega or anything like that. And so she used a very powerful microscope to look at a blood sample that she took from the volunteer right in front of us. There were a group of 3 of us, plus a cameraman present. And so all of us were able to see on the big screen that this volunteer's blood, it was not perfect. It was definitely not healthy. His red blood cells were clumped together, and that is an indication of lack of vitality, lack of oxygen,